All right, thank you, Montreal. It's nice to be here. I'm surprised I'm here, frankly. I'm a comedian. That wasn't my dream. This isn't what I wanted for myself as a child. I wanted something better for myself. I wanted to be Batman. Oh, that's way better. So much better. I trained for years. I took karate. I took gymnastics class, which is embarrassing. I remember the first night my dad took me to gymnastics class. We walk into the gym, and it is all girls. It is 100% girls and me. And I was like, oh no, I'm gay. I didn't even know what gay meant, right? I was a kid, it was just a word, but I knew from my friends that if you played with all girls all the time, that was totally gay. And I knew that Batman didn't play with any girls at all. Batman only played with Robin, and that is totally not gay. Knowledge. But I needed those skills, those fighting skills. Fight my brother. We still fight now as adults. Even now, we fight every year at my niece's birthday party. She's 6, and I show up every year, and we ruin that child's party. We just take it apart, because the problem is my brother rents an inflatable castle. And you know, if you're a guy, when you see an inflatable castle, your first thought is, I want to fight a guy in that inflatable castle. And we're in there, we're fighting for a while. My brother calls time out, right? He's out of breath, he's breathing hard. He's just like, oh, just give me a second. Your stamina is wearing me out. And I was like, not the first time I've heard that. And then I was like, wait, am I flirting with my brother? That's unsavory. But he's down there, and he's on his knees, and he's breathing hard, and I think for the first time in my life, I realized I could win, right? I never beat him in a fight in my entire life. He's been beating the crap out of me since I was a child, and I'm thinking, this is time for revenge, right? Because now he's got a heart condition, so... And there comes a point when I realize that I am going to win this fight, and it is just the most delicious feeling I could possibly... I've been in love, all right? I have kissed a woman in the rain, on the beach, sensual. I will tell you this, the most beautiful feeling in the world is beating the living crap out of your older brother. It is beautiful and heartwarming. I don't know why there's not more songs about it, but... And I'm just feeding him, right? Even when he fell on the ground, I'm just punching him in the face. I'm so full of joy, just... And he has no idea how this has happened. He's just bewildered and confused. He's looking up at me, and he's like, who are you? And I was like, I'm Batman. And then I walked off. And I was so proud of myself coming out of that castle. My dad's a very, emotionally reticent guy. I'm like, Dad, you see that? It's so bad if I beat him. But I was like, yeah. I think he got you on points. And I was like, you prick, are you serious? You can't give me this beautiful victory I just earned? Oh, my dad's such a tight... Here's a quick impression for you. Here is my entire life. Here's my father expressing pride towards his sons. Watch for this, it's very subtle. Yeah. And he just walks off. Oh, my entire life is like trying to guess the emotions of an animal. I was like, what? Are you proud of me? Are you proud? My whole life would have been easier if my dad had a tail. That's what I'm saying. My dad caught me having sex once. It was right at the end of high school. I'd gone away for a month to visit my grandparents, which I always did. And I come home and I want to get reacquainted with my girlfriend, right? So she and I are in the basement getting reacquainted. And my dad comes in, and usually when my dad walks in the house, he would take his keys out of his pocket and throw them down beside the front door, right? And I'd always hear it, like a 2-minute warning, right? Which is totally enough time. And then he would go upstairs and change out of his work clothes and then come downstairs and say hi, but I was out of town, so he's all excited to see me. So he comes in and he throws down his keys, and I was like, cool, I got 2 minutes. And then he hits the basement stairs, and I was like, I have 0 minutes, oh no, my God. And 8 stairs does not take very long. At all, but my whole sense of time is just stretched out and elongated. I'm looking around, I'm like, we need a blanket. And we managed to pull one up, and then we try to pull off the illusion that we're watching television with our shirts off like normal people. And my dad walks in the room and just, bless his heart, just takes way too long to realize what he has walked in on. He just starts a conversation with us. He's just like, hey, how was the flight? Everything was good? And I'm smooth under pressure, so I was like, I didn't know. We're not even, we just went to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why would you? And he's going on, he's like, hey, did you talk to your Uncle Rex? Everything's good with your Uncle Rex? And I have no idea how to make him stop, right? He's just blathering on like 2.5, 3 minutes of just inane banter, and I don't know how to make him stop, but I do get the satisfaction of seeing it register on his face when he realizes what he's walked in on. He's like, hey, did you talk to your grandma about... Yeah. All right, you guys were a lot of fun, Montreal. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, guys. Halifax, good to be here. Good to be here. Last time I was in Halifax was St. Paddy's Day, which I didn't realize is an important civic holiday in this city. Ooh, wow, you guys are serious. In Toronto, it's just like, oh, we'll have a little green beer. That was fun. Here, it's like an 18-hour endurance trial. You have to set your alarm to get to the bar early enough? Like, what? It's crazy. I was coming out here. People are texting me, messaging me. They're like, hey, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm like, why is everyone treating St. Paddy's Day like the Hunger Games? What's going to happen here? It's terrifying, man. It's good to be here, though, man. When I was growing up, I grew up with all guys. My brother and I were raised by my dad, which is a testosterone-rich environment. And me and my brother would fight every day. We would fight all the way through our childhood. We would just come home from school, fight, dinner, fight, jammies every day. And I would just like, tomorrow I'll get you, and I never would. And my dad had a real sort of standoffish approach, sort of single parent. He's just kind of like, take care of yourself. We had 2 rules growing up. Only 2 rules. First one, no punching in the back. Firm rule. Which was great, because my brother's favorite move was called the ostrich, where he would just punch me right between the shoulder blades, and I'd go, ah! It hurts so much. It hurt a lot. The second rule is if we were fighting in the living room, don't block the TV. That's it. That's it. My brother had my face in the fireplace in the grate. I'm trying to get my foot in front of the TV like a wrestler trying to touch the bottom rope. Just... But that was it. 2 rules. That was it. My whole upbringing. That's it. That's not enough. You need more. Hey, any rules about touching a hot stove? You'll figure it out. Okay, Dad. Any rules about getting into a stranger's van? That's a mistake you only make once. All right. Go ahead and raise ourselves then. Thanks, Dad. It was a very like testosterone competitive environment. I was always really competitive with my brother, especially because when I was 3, he put me in the dryer. Yeah, just fully right in there, like for his own amusement to see if I would get smaller or whatever. But he put me in, and I thought it was going to be exciting, right? Because like when you're 3, you believe anything your brother says. He's like, it's going to be like Disneyland. I'm like, this will be great. I'm in there, brace. I'm like, I hope Goofy's here. Oh my God. And he closed the door. He went up to press the button. I will tell you, that stays with you. My grandma snatched him up, but you remember. That's like even to this day, I'm afraid of tight, dark spaces and the smell of bounce. You know what I'm saying? It was that kind of environment, though. It was very tough, man. With no rules, just throwing each other in the dryer and stuff. We had one rule that was implied: no crying. Right? It makes all guys no crying. But it was hard to figure out. It was just implied. I never saw my dad cry. I never saw my brother cry. And so the first time I made a girlfriend of mine cry, just from sheer lack of exposure, I was lost. I didn't even know what to do. Even the tears themselves, I was touching her face. I was like, what is this, like an allergic reaction to yelling? What is that? Salty. I didn't know how to make her stop either. Oh, God, it's just going on. And I just said what my dad would say to me, right? I was like, you better cut that out before I give you something to cry about. And that's not going to... It's not going to help the situation. It was that kind of like tough guy environment, and it was hard to beat my brother at stuff because my brother was 2 years older than me, so he's bigger and stronger and like better at sports, also very cool, which is hard to beat. Like, to give you an idea how cool my brother is, my brother lost his virginity in a fort. That's pretty cool. Like an actual like wooden in our backyard, like made from plywood we found in a field and hosed off forts. This girl has to tell this story for the rest of her life. She had to sit down with her fiance. Like, what was your first time? It's like, have you ever been in a tree house? It's like that, but depressing. I have a theory. My theory is you shouldn't have to crawl on your hands and knees to the place where you will lose your virginity. That's not good. That's not... She got in there. She's like, are you sure this is romantic? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. She got in there and she's like, do you have protection? He's like, we're in a fort. What, are you serious? This whole thing is protection. I couldn't ever beat my brother because he was bigger than me and stronger than me and faster. So I thought what I would do was I would read a whole bunch of books he hadn't read, and then I would be smarter than him, was my idea. So I tried to read the encyclopedia, which is... Sorry, does that even mean anything to anybody right now? The encyclopedia? Is that... It's like a 90s version of the internet, you know what I mean? I tried to read it, but it's so boring. I could only get through the A volume because it's just a list of facts. Oh my God, it's so boring. So when I talked to my brother to win, I would have to constantly try to swing our conversation back into something I had learned about, just wing it right back into like aerodynamics or algorithms, just try and swing it back to apples if I could, just bring up some Royal Gallas, Fuji's, Crypt Pink. Those are types of apples. You can look it up when you get home. Doesn't matter. But... So like my brother would say stuff to me like, you're the definition of a nerd. And I'd be like, not according to Aristotle's theory of universals. And then he would push me down the stairs. So it was hard to win. But it's such a weird thing to be, like I was very smug about it because it was my thing, right? But it's a weird thing to be proud about because nobody cares about facts. Nobody cares. Girls don't care. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. I've never been at a party in my life where two girls are in a corner just go like, you see that guy over there with the beard? He knows a lot about aardvarks. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Don't feed them pine nuts. They're allergic. You can take that home with you. There you go. But it's just... I learned a bunch of facts. Nobody cares about facts. Well, here's a true fact for you. Incidentally, you don't need the word true before fact. That's what fact means. It's superfluous, but that's just a bonus fact on top of the fact I'm about to drop on you. Get ready. Here we go. Here's a true fact for you. If you brag about how often you win at Trivial Pursuit, you're going to get punched in the face. That is a true fact, which I learned when I got punched in the face. I was at a party in high school, and there's three guys talking. I wasn't even with them, just leaning in like a loser. And this one guy's like, man, I met this hottest Brazilian girl. She's from Buenos Aires. I got to go down there and visit her. And I was like, actually, fellas, Buenos Aires is in Argentina. It starts with A. So... And he was cool about it. He was like, oh, thanks. I didn't even realize I might have bought the wrong plane ticket. And I was like trying to be smug and arrogant about it because like this is my thing that makes me tough, right? And so I was like, yeah, that's why I got the high score in Sega Jeopardy, idiot. Boom, punch me in the face. I will tell you, if you've never been punched in the face before, you immediately learn things about yourself. Like he hit me, it was like he punched a thought into my head. He hit me and I was like, oh, I'm not tough. I can't win a fight against the guy. I was like, I hope he wants to settle this with a game of Magic the Gathering. I could do that. And he hit me so hard, my head went right back to the ceiling. And when it came back down, he was gone. And I was like, did I disappear him with my mind? That would have been amazing, and I have that card in Magic, but isn't what happened. And my brother was at that party. My brother had grabbed this guy and like thrown him across the room, right? So I run over there, like I'm going to do something. This is the least tough way you can run, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Trying to intimidate your foes. But my brother had thrown this guy up against the wall, and my brother's a really big guy. He's just holding this guy by his throat, and he turns to me and he's like, is that what Aristotle would have done? All right, you guys were wonderful. Thank you very much, Halifax.
Folks, your next comedians appeared on Much Music Video on Trial and on Mr. D on the CBC. From Toronto, welcome Darren Rose.
All right, thanks, guys. Halifax. It's good to be here. Last time I was in Halifax was St. Paddy's Day. Yeah, I did not realize what an important civic holiday that is in the city. You guys are serious, man. Oh, in Toronto, we just have a little green beer, have a fun time.
Come out here, it's an 18-hour endurance trial. The bars are open at 8 a.m. You shouldn't have to set an alarm clock to get drunk. That's my theory. It's good, man. There exists a stereotype out there, if you're dating somebody for a while, 5, 6 years, whatever, that women want to change their guy, and guys, they make little improvements, whatever. Guys want to let their ladies stay the same, right? It's a stereotype. I think it's true. But it doesn't matter. I don't think it's gender-based. I don't think it's innate. We're not born this way. We get socialized into this behavior because when we're children, we play with different toys, right? Because you're girls, you play with a Barbie. You take your Barbie out of the box. You're like, oh, my God, Barbie, I love you so much. We're going to have so much fun together. As soon as I get you new clothes and accessories and make you different and better. Guys don't do that, man. I take my Spider-Man out of the box, and I accept him for who he is. I don't put a cape on him to see if it makes me like him more or anything. I don't. Actually, with boys' toys, you can't even change the clothes. Boys' toys, clothes come painted on. You don't have an option. You have to accept what you've been given. Like, if you have a Batman action figure and you want him to have a jetpack, you are out of luck. You have to cast him aside and go searching for a different action figure that is Jetpack Batman. He's a different guy. And whatever your needs are, there's a figure out there for you. There's Jetpack Batman, Underwater Batman, Night Vision Batman, He Is Nice to Your Mom Batman. Whatever you need, you can find. And of course, you could go home and make your little homemade jetpack for your Batman, try and make some improvements, but it's gonna be shitty. He's walking around trying to be something he's not for you, to make you happy. He's at a party. He's like, this is a toilet paper roll and an elastic. I'm embarrassed. It's the Ken doll, ladies. That's what debased your expectations. Because when you were young, you got the Ken doll out of the box. And you're like, oh, my God, I'm going to change his little clothes and make him exactly who I want. You're a cowboy. You're a prince or whatever. And then you dated a full-size man, and you thought the same trick would work. You're like, oh, I'll just change his big clothes and make him exactly who I want. You're a guy with a job or whatever your thing is. And the problem is you were mistaking clothing for behavior. I mean, those are two different things. Because, we'll wear the sweater you bought us, but we'll wear it at a strip club while forgetting your birthday, all right? It's a true fact, man. On an unrelated note, I rode a donkey once. What? This guy's got some stories. It's true. I was in Greece on an island called Santorini, which, people have been there? Have you ridden the donkeys? Some people have ridden the donkeys. That's for those of you who don't know, Santorini is an island in Greece that used to be a volcano. Thousands of years ago, it exploded. But now the island, one side of the island is a sheer 400-foot cliff face, comes straight up out of the water. And there's a very nice switchback staircase that you can walk down to the water. Or if you're an idiot, like my new friend over here or me, you can ride a donkey down. And the problem is the guy at the top of the cliff only speaks 2 words of English. He's got 5 euros. That's it. Just like, hey, how much do you ride the donkeys? 5 euros. What's the right size donkey for a man my size? 5 euros. Well, how do I slow the donkey down? 5 euros. You get out, he slaps on the ass and it runs. There's no information at the top of the cliff. And the problem is the stairs are made out of stone. It's been there for hundreds of years, right? So at this point, it is a completely frictionless surface. It is, and I don't know if you know anything about donkeys. They just have hooves, right? Like, they don't outfit them in Nikes or rubber boots or anything that would help. So I'm just on this donkey's back, and he's just sliding me down this cliff face. And he's having a great time because he's racing his little donkey buddies, and they're having a laugh or whatever. And meanwhile, every time we come around a corner, I can see to my certain death 400 feet down in the rocks. But I have no idea how to slow this donkey down because I didn't get the instructions. I'm just trying to guess. I'm just trying to tug on his ears. I'm trying to pull on his mane in Morse code. I'm like, what are the chances this donkey knows Morse code? That's stupid. I'm trying to fishhook the donkey. Don't ever put your fingers in a donkey's mouth. That is from me to you. Take that. I'm trying to negotiate with the donkey, which is hard. It's a Greek donkey. I'm speaking English. There's a language barrier. And the whole time I am sweating. I am worried. My heart is pounding. And I'm thinking, why am I riding a donkey? Why? I don't like if there was a donkey here on the street, I wouldn't get on it for free. I wouldn't get on it. I'd get on it, my pants are going to smell like donkey for the rest of the night. I don't want that. But I see a donkey perched on a cliff face in Greece, and I'm like, well, I have 5 euros. All right, you guys were a lot of fun. Have a good night, Halifax.
Darren Rose.